How's it, everybody? Aloha no, aloha kako. Happy Aloha Wednesday. My name is Billy V. Welcome to season 2 of AAF Hawaii Education Series 2 Scoops. So we're here each month. AAF Hawaii's 2 Scoops series will spotlight a different industry leader who will share life and career experiences, as well as advice and takeaways learned along the way. To simplify things, the chat is moderated, and I am getting that chat channel up so I can see that as we speak. So you can do the same. And so that way, at any time, you can go ahead. As a matter of fact, you can go ahead and there we go. And I am chatting as a guest. Okay, got it. There we go. So chat is moderated. We encourage you to submit your questions in the chat for the Q&A following the session. Today is our last episode of 2 Scoops, and we are excited to have a young lady who is exciting. She can make you belly laugh, but at times endearing, and tackles amazing subjects within and out of our lahui. So Pashyn Santos is going to be our guest. And as we talk about here, I'm just going to roll this here. Pashyn is a versatile artist from Hawaii, standout figure in the entertainment world, known for her talents as an actress, comedian, writer. Her engaging persona and stellar performances, including her role as player 368 in Squid Game, seen worldwide, Squid Games: The Challenge, have garnered her acclaim. Additionally, Pashyn is a published author of 2 beloved children's books promoting creativity and storytelling. Embracing her platform, she reaches nearly 1 million followers online to spread positivity, diversity, and, of course, Hawaiian culture. She also collaborates with organizations like Liliuo Kalani Trust, Hawaii Cares, and Ipuku Kui to advocate for mental health, at-risk youth, and community unity. With an unwavering dedication to her craft and a commitment to uplifting others, she shines as a rising star in the industry, embodying the aloha spirit in all she does. As much as I enjoy reading her bio and giving her an introduction, sometimes just words aren't enough.
Oh, sorry, Billy. I don't think we can hear that.
Oh, okay. I'm being told that you cannot hear that audio, so sorry about that. We'll just jump in. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together. Joining us, it's Pashyn Santos. Yay!
Hey, I was almost going to do a voiceover for you.
Sister, thank you for being here on the show today. Appreciate that. Let me see. Let's go ahead and just jump right into it. What inspired you to pursue a career in comedy, writing, and acting? Was there a particular moment or experience that sparked your interest?
Well, first of all, mahalo for having me. It's so good to see you. And hello to everybody tuning in. I will absolutely take 2 scoops of everything: rice, mac salad, shoyu chicken, lomi salmon. And I also want to know the 2 scoops on what's going on. So I love this for us. I always knew I wanted to be an entertainer. And from a young age, I was working at Polynesian Culture Center, dancing at their luau's in the villages for the night show. And then I went on to work for Tihati aboard the Norwegian cruise lines. And then Vine, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok came along, and it gave me this platform to entertain in a new way, as long as I had a camera on my phone and an internet connection. It was free for me to broadcast whatever I dreamt up globally.
So basically, I'm going to go kind of off script here right away. You being on the phone and you having a pigeon Siri, that's probably what sparked a lot of people to all of a sudden turn their heads and go, OMG, what is this girl up to? Do you write a lot of that yourself?
I do. I write almost everything. And
Wow.
It's inspired by everyone as well.
You play several characters consistently. Yourself, your mom, your auntie. Are a lot of those people specifically that inspired you into those characters?
Definitely, but we're not going to name any names.
Sounds good. How do you balance all of the different aspects of career and all the stuff that you're doing?
I consider myself a chaser of joy, and I am a true believer that happiness is the precursor to success. And so you can almost always find me doing something that makes me happy. And when it doesn't, I'll put it down, take a break, and pick up something else. I like to live in my right brain. So anytime it kind of wavers off to the left side, I get thrown off balance. And so the negotiations, finance, taxes, leave it to somebody else.
No, I totally understand that. There's a lot of people that are watching this that are also college students, and they're wondering what is the next thing for them. What advice would you give to college students who are interested in pursuing a career in comedy, in writing, in acting?
Okay, well, first of all, I didn't go to college, so I don't know how much advice I can give to the college students. They could probably give me some advice, but I think in general, it's always great for people to work on themselves, know who they are, and be who you are so that people looking for you can find you. And really, I read a lot of personal development books. I'm big on creating opinions because I believe that all of that will tie into the stories that you want to tell. Because it's perspective, which we know is to be observing the world from outside of ourselves. And I know the number one algorithm beater on social media is making something shareable, which is relatable. People have to feel like they're relating to it.
But you have a unique perspective in that you have a Polynesian and Hawaiian and Hawaii perspective. How does all of that play into what you are doing?
It's a unique perspective, but at the same time, we look at Hawaii, we look at the Polynesian cultures, we look at our neighbors, and we're so diverse. We're not all Hawaiian, we're not all Samoan or Filipino, and I think that that gives us the ability to learn from each other and take snippets from each other's cultures. And so I become a mixed plate, really. And maybe that's what makes me unique is that. So it keeps me on my toes and it'll keep everybody else on their toes too. Who knows what I'm going to come out with next?
So does that mean that you are a people watcher? Wherever you go, you're watching what everybody else is doing. And does that workflow, is that there always?
Yes. And actually, when I go and talk to, like when I give talks at schools, that is one of the top things that I will recommend to the children today. Because a lot of times you'll see these kids, and this wasn't a career for me growing up. There was nobody coming to career day that was a content creator or a YouTuber. But these kids now, they're like, I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be a streamer. But my advice is to put down your device and take a look around and take everything in, because that is when you'll really catch the gold nuggets.
In your opinion, what role do female comedians, writers, actors play in shaping the cultural landscape and driving social change? Let's bring that into the conversation.
Well, through my lens, I know that most female comedians, actors, writers, anything really, are also moms, wives, the person feeding the family, the one driving everyone everywhere, doing the laundry and creating a comfortable space to live in. And so sometimes that makes us a little more natural to be more persuasive, to bring up some social issues, to basically what I know is that we become gentle parents to an audience instead of our offspring, because we're a little more persuasive and we know how to do it. And we see it with people like Ali Wong and Mindy Kaling and Issa Rae, Nanushka Khan, who are able to create films and shows and tackle tough subjects, social issues, politics, and create stories that are digestible.
So you're hoping that some people that are watching this right now and in talking with you, you're hoping that they go ahead and bring out what they have as far as writing skills and their knowledge and what they view and how they view in order to shape the world for not only people in general, but for especially for women.
Yes, absolutely. I truly believe the more stories we tell, the more empowered people will be. Sometimes all it takes is that one story to light someone's fire and make that one person a little more brave, build the courage that they need to go out and pursue whatever their purpose is.
I noticed that you mentioned some influencers and some comedians and some people that are more known on a national scale. Are there some local writers, comedians that you appreciate, and why?
Well, I grew up with all the greats. We know Andy Bumatai, Frank De Lima, Raps. I would watch their stuff over and over. I had them on VHS, and those VHS tapes got worn out. And I actually even knew like your parts by heart when you came on those Frank De Lima tapes. And it was like a way for us all to find laughter and joy as a family. And of course, I look up to all of them. But if I had to like pick some mentors, it would be my family. Growing up here, especially my dad's side of the family, they're all Portuguese. So every situation had a crack up moment, whether it was razzing on each other or finding a way to make light of things that in some situations might be off limits, like politics, religion, social issues. But I truly believe that because we had such open discussions in a fun way about it, it made me more confident. It definitely also helped build and strengthen our relationships. But I saw that it broke down barriers, which made us more susceptible to new information. And I know that there's actual data on that with the correlation between humor and information retention. And that's why, like, why is the jingles or the funny commercials the ones that we remember the most? And it's because of that dopamine response that gets activated in our brains. But shout out to my papa for being such a funny guy. He really is the mentor for me.
Nice. You mentioned Portuguese as a nationality or as a what else are you?
So my dad's side of the family, Portuguese. My mom's side, Hawaiian and English.
Nice. What school you in?
I went to Kahuku.
Oh,
so I graduated Kahuku.
Okay. What area did you grow up?
I like to say I'm a child of Hawaii because we moved all over the place. I spent summers in Kauai with my uncles and aunties, some summers on Lanai. I went to probably more schools than there are grade levels because we moved around so much throughout Hawaii, though, which is why if you see me in person and I don't place you right away, that could be the reason why. I'm trying to figure out if we went to school together, if you're my cousin or you watch the videos.
So it would probably be nice if people that you haven't seen in a long time, you come right up to you and say, "Hi, my name is so-and-so. We went to school blank."
It would be really nice because off subject, this is something that happened to me in Whole Foods one day. I was at the hot bar at Kahala and I saw this guy like putting some stuff in his little carton and he kept looking up at me. And so I looked up at him and I immediately think I know everybody anyway. So I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" And he is like, "Hey." And then he comes next to me and he's like, "How are you?" And I was like, "I'm so good. How's your mom?" I did not know who he was until one day when I was watching Hawaii Five-0 and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that was Dano."
Oh, Scott Kahn. Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, I also need to be more conscious and maybe ask a little more questions myself.
No. I understand. So you start going through the list in Rolodex in your head. How's your family?
Yeah. Well, and you know what? His mom's great, by the way.
There you go. What coming from Hawaii, what unique opportunities and challenges have you? Let's go with challenges. Challenges have you encountered in your journey into breaking into comedy, writing, and acting?
Oh, I have one specifically for acting. And this came when I was filming a show for HBO here. The character that I auditioned for was from here. So in my audition, I turned it up and excitedly it got me the role. And then we did a script reading over Zoom. And then I showed up to set, and the director came up to me and John Wells, and he was like, Pashyn, loved your audition, love the script reading. However, I need to hear you talk in real life because we're gonna quickly need to dial back that pigeon accent of yours. And he's not from here, so for us pigeon speakers, we know that we can turn it. Oh, we have a customer service voice. Billy, you have your iconic broadcaster voice. We have a hospitality voice, and so I was like, yes, of course, I can turn it off. I was a flight attendant. I worked in hospitality. I know how to enunciate. And it looked like he had this relief lifted off his shoulders because he was like, okay, that's great. I'll stop you there. I want you to be your character. Just dial it back. And that was an aha moment for me because I know that a lot of the things that I put out, I'll get a lot of people come up to me and they're like, hey, we moved away and we love watching your stuff because it helps us feel closer to home. Or, hey, we just moved here. And before we even moved here, we started consuming your content because it helped us to learn the Hawaii isms. And so I took that kuleana on because now we know the correlation between humor and memory retention. And I wanted to make sure that the content that I put out was understandable enough. And also, I added that to my slates before I auditioned to make sure that the enunciation was there, and then I'll go on with my audition.
So it's interesting because people will walk up to you that have consumed your media, and immediately you can tell what character they were watching.
Yep.
Okay.
I can. And it's a hard expectation to live up to sometimes because sometimes that's a misconception. People will be like expecting me to be this character that they watch. And in real life, I'm kind of introverted. I'm a homebody. I have a really small circle of friends. I like my alone time. And they'll be like, she's so funny. She's fun. She's probably crazy. We gotta go party. And I'm just like, I actually don't.
Wow. That's interesting. I did not know that you were, I guess we all have that. There's the character and then there's what we really like. So it was interesting to know that they will consume that and expect exactly what they see.
Yeah.
How have you found being from Hawaii? Is it giving you a distinct, we've actually talked about that, so I'm going to skip over that. In what ways do you stay connected to your Hawaiian roots while working in the entertainment industry?
Well, luckily, like I mentioned earlier, I had a really good foundation. I started off my entertainment career working for Polynesian Culture Center, dancing, all the Polynesian things, and then working for Tihati. But also, I love our people and I love telling our stories. And so any way I can find a way to stay connected, I do. And in fact, this weekend, I'm really family oriented. So this weekend we have this family thing that we're doing. My dad's side of the family, Hawaii, my dad's side of the family Portuguese, my mom's side Hawaiian. So the Hawaiian side, we're having a get together. We're doing night fishing, crabbing, kui kalo on Saturday, imu, lau making, and really, I feel like the best way to stay connected to our roots is just alohaing each other. And I will absolutely take any chance I can get to do that, and also it helps me to be a little bit more intentional with the projects that I agree to.
Is the word intention, do you find it being more and more a part of the workflow with doing things with intention? And how do you scope that intention?
It helped me specifically be okay with saying no a little more, because we know that happiness is a precursor to success, and I am trying to do things that I find joy in. I also know that it is a direct result of the content that I put out. It'll show. And so being able to say no helped me to feel okay with it. Because at first I would just say yes without even knowing the scope of the project, just to make the person happy, or a fear of rejection for future opportunities. But I do know that when I give my yes, it is 100%. I'm all in. I want it to be good for everyone. And so it's my all in intention.
There are a number of questions as I'm listening to you that are popping up in my head. You mentioned, did I hear you right, flight attendant?
I did, yes. I was a flight attendant for a little while for Hawaiian Airlines.
Really?
I was 19 at the time.
I wish I had you on my flight. I can imagine just the where the emergency exit doors would be somewhat memorable, but I know you had to do it the way that they taught you. What other jobs did you have?
So I worked on a cruise ship for a little while, then I was a flight attendant, and then I worked for an online magazine doing tech reviews, which was really fun because I am also a big nerd. I love technology, and with that I kind of integrated myself into working for Apple, and I worked for Apple for almost 10 years before getting into YouTube and all the creative stuff.
Wow. So you've been already technologically immersed before you started creating. You were already in the headspace.
I like to think so. Sometimes I have some user error moments, but for the most part, yes.
Very, very good. Let's talk about what you are doing right now. Can you tell us about any projects or things that you have going on right now?
Yes. Well, I'm currently writing. I'm always writing. So I'm writing a screenplay right now. I still am working on another Keiki book coming up. And then I was also casted in a local indie film where it's completely different from me. It's a horror film. And I actually play the story's antagonist, which is I'm really enjoying, and I'm really excited for everyone to see it whenever it comes out. We're still filming right now in process. So.
Okay. So it's not a project you can talk about, but it is ongoing right now. What do you have in the future coming up?
Well, I do know that we have some directors, producers, marketing agencies possibly in here. So I am open for opportunities. Plug.
Very, very good. I'd like to speak a kind of an overall, nothing specific right now at this moment on this question. Is there any piece of advice or information that you'd like to give to everybody? Is there something you want everybody to know about you that they don't really know? Just in general, as they're sitting and listening, advice that you want to give to just people in general.
Follow your passion. Why not? Why not say that? Truly though, like I said, I'm a huge believer in happiness. And I think that I learned once someone's definition of happiness was the joy you feel in the pursuit of your potential. And sometimes that pursuit is not always great. And that shows in like people working out. It's hard to work out. Childbirth, that's hard. But the joy and that reward is huge. And so find your passion and pursue it intentionally. And then just be kind, because you never know who somebody is, who somebody's working for. I mean, you want to be kind authentically regardless, but you also should keep it in the back of your head. You never know.
You never know when Scott Kahn's going to be there in line and you get to talk story with them and they get to stand next to you. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to move over to the chat. And if you have questions, go ahead and put them in here. And as a matter of fact, let's go ahead and down. I'm going to see here. I got to lean over. No, you know what? I don't have to lean over. What am I doing? Okay, there we go. Kaylin, thank you very much. Are you workshopping other characters right now? What can you tell us about them and what inspired them?
So I grew up on a multicultural street. There was a Samoan, a Filipino, we had someone from the military, and all of those characters, including like the Loco Mata's character, which is one of the main characters I portray online, that is just a collection of individuals that I grew up around. So I have a whole list of different characters, and it's just right time to bring them out. But I do want to say, and I've been saying it for a while, and I think that it's finally time to put it into motion, that I would love to do a Loco Mata's rendition of like Medea, but like a local version. I think we have some great isms, some great noeau that can be told through local stories with that character.
Do you often sit there in the car when you're by yourself and all of a sudden just start speaking voices out loud, or you see somebody on a street corner as you're passing by and you start speaking as if you were that person's voice, or you see two people in the distance and you're trying to, as if you were transcribing what the conversation, do you ever do that?
Why do I do that? Yes, I do that. I even make names up for them. I don't know if this is like teetering on the you shouldn't do that, but maybe because nobody knows, I won't get in trouble. But I make up names. I have their backgrounds. And I think that kind of keeps me in a creative space, but it's really fun. And I find myself doing it by myself all the time. And then I'll rope people in with me.
Wow, that's really interesting. So when you go into a character, you don't just say, okay, this person is one Portuguese auntie. You Portuguese auntie, you know what age she is, what school she went to, what she likes, what she doesn't like. You really sit there and go deep into character creation mode.
I do. And, sometimes we'll have leeway to do that even with films or shows. Like this one that I'm currently casted in, when I was given the character, there was a pretty brief overview. And of course, the script shares a bit about how she acts and whatnot, but it helps to deep dive. And so, yeah, I create an entire background for her, like what her favorite foods are, what music she's listening to, and who she likes, who she doesn't like. And because of that, it helps me to be a little more authentic when I'm giving her character to everybody else.
Sheena, thank you very much for your question. A lot of my writer friends are worried about AI pushing them out of a job. How do you react to AI, and how do you react to AI as a writer?
That's a hard one, because it's gonna come regardless. I think there's nothing that can replace human connection. And honestly, I feel like human connection and our relationships is the most valuable currency. And as long as we can continue to put that at the forefront, we control it. So AI can do so much, but we also have the ability to be like, no, I need the human connection. I need that human touch, that human um,
Interaction, so to speak.
Yeah. Yes.
As I'm looking at the comments, sometimes what people are putting in the comments are not necessarily a question. That's what all my friends' kids say. They want to be a YouTuber, LOL. You are maybe, I don't know if YouTuber would be a correct nameplate there, but influencer, maybe. Kind of describe your thoughts.
Well, like I said too, and I'll keep saying it because my youngest brother is a sophomore in high school, and he just still was like, "You're born in the 1900s, and there wasn't Instagram and all of this stuff," and he too wants to be a streamer, and I'm like, dude, this wasn't even an option. I didn't even know that this was a career path for me. And I cannot imagine, I was thinking about this the other day, like just how my ancestors, whatever they were, from advisors or fishermen or Malama Aina caretakers, and then they're looking down and going, oh, she's recording herself, talking to herself again. I take that kuleana of laughter seriously, because I feel like, the stories that I tell really could be that one thing that gives courage to somebody else to go pursue whatever happiness or joy they need to do for their purpose. But influencer, content creator, I think is a little better for me, a little more fitting, because I do a little bit of each.
And then because there's intent in what you do as well. It's not just creating just to get a reaction. You are creating with intent.
Yeah. And who knows? Some of these kids could be doing something that they don't even know is possible yet. We got like Apple Vision Pro now and all these virtual reality stuff coming out. Who knows what's coming?
Kaylin, thank you very much for your question. What is your thought on quality versus quantity when it comes to content creation on your social channels?
I think balance is good. It's one of those things where I will get ready and put up the lighting and make sure the sound is good and edit the heck out of it. And it does okay. And then I'm authentic in a car, Pigeon Siri didn't brush my hair, and it goes viral. I didn't know that the Pigeon Siri was going to go viral. So I think putting out a little bit of everything is also good, because you never know what's going to make someone laugh. And quality is always great, but that's why we have people in here like James and all the other directors and producers that can help me out with the quality, and I'll just film from my phone.
Awesome. What show were you on for HBO, and what current projects are you working on, looking forward to? We kind of went through that already. So what show were you on for HBO?
It was a pilot that ended up not airing. It was, I think they had a pretty big budget, but then HBO dropped it. But now it turned into, High Rescue Surf. So it was before High Rescue Surf, it was called Kinui Road. And it was more drama driven and Hawaii story based. But now it's like really fun and exciting on Fox, right? I think Fox.
I think so, yes. When did you realize that this could be a career? Christine, thank you.
I still am kind of pinching myself that I get to do this full time. And I'm really hoping that I have a couple more years left in me to do this kind of stuff. As long as the people are willing to consume it, I will put it out.
That's awesome. Once again, Pashyn Santos joins us here for the finale of season 2 of AAF Hawaii Education Series. Last call for questions there in the comments section. In the meantime, I do want to ask you, I know this may seem strange, but Pashyn, there are people that you are that are active in your life, that are people that are on online that we see, such as you, your auntie, your grandma. Real quickly, just tell us how everybody is doing right now, and just kind of give us an overall on your main characters.
Loco Maras is doing cherry. She wants to let everybody know that you better go home and cook the rice. Leave your slippers at the door. Don't come in walking around with your slippers on. She loves you guys so much. And she said, take care of yourself. Make sure you take care of each other. Wear your seatbelt, brush your teeth, take your vitamins. Tutu is doing great as well. Brada is practicing MMA because he is watching Max Holloway's thing. And so he's really practicing his point down to the ground and swinging. And Tita Lani is, I don't know where she is. She had late night last night, so we don't know.
If somebody wants to follow you and they are watching you for the first time on this, and I can't imagine that they are seeing you for the first time, where can